Hello everyone, welcome to Jolly Molly TV. Today we're going to work on block 6 in this adorable Christmas Express train scene project by Embroidery Library. This block is super cute. It's got the North Pole sign, some candy canes, and the last part of the train and the train tracks. So today we're going to do block 6. So go ahead and gather all your supplies, your fabric, and your batting. Let's head over to the machine and let's get started stitching. Okay, we're at the machine. I have a bobbin with black thread down below. I've loaded black thread in the top of my machine, and I have my hoop that I need for the size design I'm using, which is just under 8-inch. So I have my 8-inch hoop, and I put a piece of the poly no-show mesh stabilizer in that hoop. Let's go to the screen cam and load the design. All right, so I have a Baby Lock Destiny. In case you have something similar, you can follow along, like a Brother Dream machine. Go to the embroidery module, go to my flash drive, where I keep all my designs, and then I have them in a folder, Christmas Express Train Scene. And today we're doing block 6 of this scene, which is labeled ESP 83745-1, and it's this one right here with a little bit of the train and the North Pole sign and the candy cane. So that's the one we're looking at stitching out today. Let's click Set, and we don't need to do anything here. We're going to click Embroidery. Now I need to add a basting stitch around the outside edge, so I'm going to click Edit. Look for this little button right here with a flower with a basting stitch around it. Click on that and it automatically adds a basting stitch around the outside, and click Edit. And we're ready to go. Now the basting stitch is really important, and I know I mentioned it in the other videos, but I'm going to mention it again, because when we put down our batting and then our fabric, that basting stitch, which we'll stitch 3 times, is going to help hold everything in place. Now, if your machine doesn't have that option, no problem. Put your batting down, put your fabric on top, then with your sewing machine, just stitch a simple basting stitch around the outside edge. If you can't do it in the hoop, put your batting down, put your fabric down on top, put some pins in it, keep that in place, and then unhoop this. Go to your sewing machine, stitch a basting stitch around the outside edge, come back and rehoop it. All right, so we are ready to get started. We're going to stitch out this basting stitch a total of 3 times. First, to give us a placement line to put the batting. The second time will be to tack down the batting, and the third time will be to tack down the fabric. So right now, with black thread on the top of my machine, I'm going to put my foot down, and I'm going to stitch out the basting stitch for the first time, which will give us a placement line for the batting. Okay, it did a little cut on the corner there, but I'm not going to worry about it because it won't matter. It's going to be covered up by the batting anyway. All right, so I'm going to place my batting down, center it, make sure you've covered all of that basting stitch line. Going to go back to the screen, and we're going to go back 1 step, plus and minus, and go backwards 1 stitch, or really it's 1 step. Go back to the first step, which is stitching out that basting stitch again. All right, so I still got black thread up above, put the foot down, and we're going to stitch out the basting stitch line, which will tack down this batting. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take the hoop gently off the machine. I want you to take this to a table, and I want you to trim away all of this excess batting around the outside edges using your curved applique scissors. If you don't have a pair like this, I have a link in the description below where you can get it on Amazon. These are great because they're curved upwards, so when you trim, you don't accidentally poke the stabilizer. All right, so let's trim away this excess batting, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, that is all trimmed up. So let's go back to the screen cam. And I want to go back one more step. There we go, because I want to stitch out that basting stitch line one more time. And now I'm going to get my fabric. I'm going to put my fabric down, and I want to center it by feeling for the batting. You can feel that there. There you go. Feel it right there and feel it there. So we are good. Put the foot down, still have black thread up on top, and let's stitch out that basting line, which is going to tack down this fabric. You got this. Okay, I'm just cleaning up the little lint fuzz with a little piece of Scotch tape. That looks good. All right. So if you look at the screen, it's automatically gone to the very first stitch. So I can just click OK. And we're ready to start stitching. Okay, so step 1 is going to be your blue ink. And just a friendly reminder, on your color change sheet that you've printed out, you want to make sure that you go left to right. So the first color change is blue ink. The second one is blue jay. Third is Christmas green. Fourth is light emerald green. Remember, left to right. Make sure you get the right colors in the right spot. Okay? And the reason I mention that is because the old system that they had, the old software, went up and down. So left to right is a change. So if you're used to Embroidery Library's patterns and change sheets, you're going to always want to go up and down. But no, now it's left to right. Okay, we don't want to mess up our color changes. So I've got my blue ink thread in the top of my machine, and I've got a loop. Get that out so we don't cause any damage to our machine. Always get your loop out first. Okay, so now we're going to stitch this out. This is an 8-minute in real-time stitch out. So let's get started stitching this flag. Okay, so that was my bobbin thread sensor telling me my bobbin is almost empty. Okay, so I cut my thread. I'm going to lift this off. All right. And yep, it called it. Okay. Like I said, sometimes the sensor works and sometimes it doesn't. All right. So let's go ahead and let's put a new bobbin full of black bobbin thread in here. Okay, that should do it. Okay, and we click return. There, focuses. Now, I've got to go back a few stitches, so I'm going to go plus and minus. And I'm going to go back, watching where the needle is. I'm going to go back 10 at a time. And I'm going to go back another 10. And I'm just going to go back a few more. Right there. And that should get me to the point where I'm going to overlap a little bit where it's stitched before so it can lock itself in and keep going. All right. So we're good. So let's put the foot down and let's continue stitching. All right, that's a nice foundation there. So that's step 1. Step 2 is going to be blue jay. All right, so let's get our blue ink thread off the top of our machine. And let's put in the blue jay, and that's going to do some highlights on top of the ground that we just stitched out. This is going to be a 4-minute in real life stitch out. You got this. This project is coming along so nicely. I love it. Okay, no loop. Let's put the foot down and let's stitch this out. Step number 2. Okay, very nice. So that was step 2. Now we're going to do step 3, which is Christmas green. And it's going to work on a tree up here in the upper right corner. Actually, that was my light green. I want my darker Christmas green. That's the one I want. So put your Christmas green thread in the top of your machine. And we're going to stitch this out. This is a 4-minute in real-time stitch out. All right, you got this. One thread color at a time and get that loop out. We don't want to have a loop. All right, let's stitch it out. Oh, very nice. Okay, that was step 3. So step 4, now I can bring out the light Christmas green, and it's going to do some accents on that tree that we just did. All right, and this is going to be a 2-minute stitch out. So you can do this. You got this. We are getting there. This is block 6. All right, whoops. There we go. Thread the needle. Make sure there's no loops. And we're good. And let's stitch this out. 2 minutes in real life. All right, we've got a Christmas tree. All right, step 5 is old gold, which I have here on the back of my machine. And a big spool. There we go. So go ahead and put your old gold thread in the top of your machine. And this is an easy 1-minute stitch out. So this is a short one. It looks like it's just going to do a light here in the upper left. Make sure I don't have any loop. And let's stitch out the light. You got this. Okay, see, that was easy. Easy peasy. All right, let me get the old gold thread out of the way here. All right. We're good on there. And now we're going to go to step 6, which is chrome. And the chrome is going to do some candy cane and some ground highlights. Actually, we have 2 candy canes it's going to do. A larger one and then a slightly smaller one. So that'll be fun. So let's put this in. This is a 3-minute stitch out. And no loop. We're good. Let's do it. Okay, so I want to trim a couple threads before we go any further. There's one, and then there's one way up here. There we go. Okay, so now we're on step 7 already, which is going to be root beer. And it looks like root beer is going to work on the North Pole sign. Oh, that'll be cool. Okay, so let's put root beer or gingerbread color thread up in the top of your machine. And this is a 3-minute stitch out. Okay, let's do this. You've got this. right, so now we're on step 8 already. Can you believe it? And so we're going to do a little bit of train detail up here, about a 1-minute stitch out, and the color Twister, which is kind of like a medium dark gray. So let's put that color thread on the top, Twister, and let's do this. Make sure we don't have any loops, and let's stitch this out. You got this. That was easy. Okay, so now we're already on step 9, which is barn red. Can you believe that? You've got 3 left, 3 color changes left. And this is step 9, barn red. We're going to put that, in my case it's Christmas red. And it's just going to do another 1-minute stitch out for the train detail in roughly the same area that we just stitched. A little bit off to one side. Ooh, make sure we don't have a loop. All right, let's do it. 1-minute stitch out. Here we go. Okay, so now we're on step 10, which is going to be cinnamon candy. And you know what this is going to do? This is going to fill in the candy canes here on the right side. So go ahead and put your cinnamon candy thread up on top. And we're going to stitch this out 2 minutes in real life. All right, no loops. We're good to go. Let's do it. That is so nice. Okay, you know what the last step is? You got this. It is going to be step 11, and it's going to be super white, and it's going to do all of its magic and make this block come to life. I love this step. It just literally performs magic on every single block it does. So this is a little bit longer stitch out. It's 24 minutes. So we're gonna, whoops. All right, we've got the needle thread. We are good to go. You ready? Sit back, relax, and enjoy watching this block come to life. Here we go. This is amazing. Look at this. Every block we do, I love even more than the next one. This project is just amazing. Congratulations, you did it. All right, so go ahead and take the hoop off your machine. Take the block out of the hoop and just set it off to one side. We're going to finish stitching out the next scene, the next 6 blocks that will attach to this train scene. We're going to stitch those out first, and then we're going to assemble, and I'm going to show you how to do and finish all of it together, all right? So go ahead and set this off to one side, and I hope you had as much fun today making this block as I did. This is so fantastic. Just love it. So I hope you stay tuned here on Jolly Molly TV. We did the 6 blocks for the Christmas Express train scene, and now we're going to do the 6 blocks for the Christmas Express scene, and then we're going to merge them together into one big wall hanging, all right? So until the next video, I hope you guys take care, have a great day, and happy stitching. See you soon. Bye-bye.